Right, Power fans and surrounding areas. Welcome to what I call Wednesday Pirate Podcast, but it's Thursday. The reason we call it the Wednesday Pirate Podcast is because we're going to be talking RF Lady Pirates soccer. And on the screen we have the head coach here for the Lady Pirates, and that's Coach Travis Rasbeary. Coach, how you doing?
Doing great. How are you?
I'm doing great, Coach. Thank you for coming out again, spending about 30 minutes or so here. We do this every Thursday on this for the Lady Pirate Soccer. It's Thursday because Coach is unavailable on Wednesday. So he comes in every Thursday when he's available around 8 o'clock to talk about the program, the players, and Coach. We're winding down to the regular season, almost coming to an end. We got a few more games. I know for you, you've got one more road game. It's been a heck of a road game for you guys. I think it's eight, I counted in a row, that you guys had to play on the road. So the Lady Pirates have one more. That'll be tomorrow. And then next week, they will at least have two home games, which I'm sure Coach and the girls would love, because getting on that bus twice a week, they have to travel wherever you guys have gone. It's going to be fun to finally get to be home sweet home. So that's going to happen next week. But they do got one more road game tomorrow. We'll talk to Coach about that. But Coach, I want to recap the game that you guys had on this last one. It was you guys traveled to CC London. We talk about London and their program and how good they are. It did not go our way. We took the L, unable to score. But talk to us a little bit about the performance. We're not going to make any excuses, but you were down a couple of players. We do have some injuries right now. The Lady Pirates got a couple of players that are out, key players. But we have to go out and play the game. Talk to us a little bit about the game versus London and what you saw from the Lady Pirates.
Yeah, we knew it was going to be a hard one. London's good. It doesn't matter it doesn't matter what year. London's always London. So same way that Cow Island's always Cow Island. They've always got those kids that play year round, play club, play select out of that Corpus Christi area. So going into a season that they're going to be a good test for you. It just so happened that we had a bunch of kids banged up from the Ingleside game, and that stuff carries over. I made the joke today that it's my senior captains that are driving me crazy, because we have Ari, Anai, and Katie, and of course we've talked about Katie's injury a couple times in this podcast, but you had Anai who got a concussion, sustained a concussion during Ingleside, and the thing about those concussions is it takes a while to kind of get back from it. You don't want to rush stuff like that, because you hear about all the stories of players getting CTE and the damage that causes, having those concussions and going and getting hit again and again and again. So we're concerned about Anai's health, and so we go into London, we know Anai's going to be out. Ari ended up with a sprained ankle, and so you go against a team that, for all argument's sakes, is state ranked and is going to be very, very competitive and very, very good. And all of a sudden you have all three of your three captains out. And so we knew it was going to be a struggle. And then, we had an injury hit us in the first half that hurt us tremendously. We've talked about Candace Tidwell several times on this podcast. I think she's somewhere around 16, 18 goals, something like that. And, she gets injured in the first half in a very, very, very dirty play. And so now you're missing your three captains, you're missing your leading goal scorer. And so, and then we had a couple more kids that got hurt in that game, random, I call them sucker punches, but just random fouls that were committed, and got to a point where we got to halftime, and you look out at the kids who start for you, and we've got kids that are battered and beaten. And it's one of those things where, it's almost better at that point. I think we were losing 6-0. So it's almost better at that point to pull some of your kids and keep them from getting injured, because, we still got three more games of district. And if you're going to leave your kids in just to get battered and beaten, you take a risk on dropping some games later on because of those injuries. So we pulled out some of our starters and kind of gave some of those kids who don't get a whole lot of playing time, some playing time in the second half. And London ended up beating us 11-0. But the problem is that that score doesn't reflect, us at 100%, and that's very unfortunate. But we are lucky because it looks like we're going to go small school, and so we have a very good chance of meeting them again in playoffs, and hopefully at that point we'll be all healed and back to 100%, and we can give them a more competitive game.
Yeah, it was I knew we were going in injured and I was concerned, obviously. I knew it was going to be a challenge for us. I knew that how good that other program is, London. And when you don't go in at full strength, it's going to be a challenge for us. And then, we had the injuries to the captains. Obviously, that hurts because they're like the coaches on the field, right? So you don't have them. That's tough. And then Candace goes down early, and then it's kind of like, oh no, what do we do now, right? It's going to be really really tough for us. So I think the right decision was made. And I don't think we lost much as far as ground. I guess if I mean maybe we did because of the way the score was see because it's a little different with points and the way all that goes. But we've got two games coming up. Coach and I talked before we came on, and so we just take care of business. We should be good, right? So it's on to the next game, and it's getting ready for tomorrow. Coach, I do want to talk to you about one play in particular because you and I were talking and you sent me the video and I saw the video. And so for those that didn't see it, because I didn't put it up I'm not going to do that, but I watched it and man, that looked like a football hit. I mean, look, the pass is coming. We're talking when Candace got hit. And it looked to me like she had an open side. The ball was coming. She was going to meet the ball. The other girl was coming from the other side. I'm just giving you what I thought, my thoughts on what I saw in the video. And it looked to me like she went straight for the hit. It didn't look to me like what I saw that it was going for the ball, but it was and we're just fortunate that she's okay because that was a hard hit. Talk to us a little bit because I know you've seen it. Your thoughts on the hit because it was a vicious, it was a hard hit. It wasn't a bad, I mean, it was a hard hit going straight. And I mean, Candace went down quickly.
Yeah. Yeah, I happened to be on the other side. We had just got a quick counter, so we had just won the ball, and we were trying to get the ball down the field real quick, kind of like what we play. And I see that breakaway pass from Candace, and I'm like, all right, here we go. Here's the spark that we need. I think at that point we were down 2-0, 3-0. So I'm like, here's the spark that we need to get that comeback going. And kind of like you said, it's a super dirty hit. It's perfect ball to Candace. Candace has got that speed that she's going to beat a whole lot of kids.
Mm.
And when you're talking about soccer, I've refed before, and you get a foul committed by the last offender, it's a yellow. It doesn't matter if it's like just a jersey pull or anything like that. It's an automatic yellow because you committed a foul that would have led to a goal scoring opportunity. And so the girl comes and doesn't even try to make an attempt on the ball and just form tackles Candace. And Candace is a tough kid. I've seen game after game after game where she just gets waylaid or whacked, and she's shaking up for about 30 seconds, and then she's making runs down the field that you're just surprised by how tough this kid is, and I mean immediately goes to the ground. And I'm not gonna lie, I come unglued on the official because the only thing he gives her is a yellow card. Gives the London girl a yellow card, which is what you would do if all she did was like pull Candace's jersey or something like that. I mean that is completely unsportsmanlike. It is reckless. It is dangerous, and I made sure the ref knew it, but he just kind of blew me off. And then of course you've got the London fans that I don't know if you hear them on the video. They're screaming, "Oh, it's just shoulder to shoulder!" Like I mean, it was a very heated moment, and you see Candace laying on the ground, and the parents are still screaming. I mean, it's one of those things where yeah, soccer's physical, but things like that should not happen for the safety of the kids. And as a result, I mean, we're very fortunate that Candace should be good to go for the next game. But I mean, that could have been something a lot serious. I mean, you're talking about a girl who essentially gets hit with a football form tackle with nothing to protect her. And of course, she starts grabbing her back. And so, with us having the back injury that we've had this year with Katie, my mind starts going to the worst case scenario. And I'm like, here we go. We have another girl who sustained this horrible injury on something that should never have happened. I mean, there's no reason why that girl should have done that.
Yeah, I saw it. It looked like she was blindsided. I couldn't really. I was looking at it through my phone on the small screen, but it looked like I don't know if Candace knew it was coming because I don't think she expected it. I mean, if you're looking at the play, right, you don't think it looks like she's and the other thing is, coach, she's going full speed. The
Yeah,
defender's coming because you got to try to catch her, right? So she's coming with a lot of just full speed, and then it's just like boom. It looks like she's gonna and just it just hits her and she just goes down immediately. It wasn't even like a tumble. It was like just boom, contact, and she's on the ground. I was like, oh my goodness.
yeah, and there's no way from her angle, from Candace's angle, that she could have seen that coming at all. I mean, she's got the ball in her foot, she's going perfectly straight to goal, and this girl just, I mean, use a football term, she just ear holes her. Like Candace has no idea that it's coming. I mean, it was extremely dirty, and for the officials to only give a yellow card, I mean, just kind of shows you that this was a little bit of a one-sided game, a little bit of home cooking going on. Because I mean, it was awful to see.
Yeah, it was definitely awful. I mean, when I looked at it, I was just like, "Oh no, come on, man! Yeah, we've got to be able to. We don't want no kid to be injured." But to me, it was a play. It looked to me, again, my opinion, what I saw from the video is it looked like it went straight for the hit. It looked like it was going for the ball. It looked like it was. I'm gonna take her out. Like I'm just gonna. I gotta stop the play, and they were able to do that. But luckily that she's healthy. There was no major injuries to her. We have her back. She's obviously a key player, and we're going to need her down the stretch to get these games, these next a few games here. And of course, tomorrow it's another road game to Kingsville to play SGA, and we'll get coach's thoughts here in a bit on that game. Coach, I want to jump over to the junior, the sub varsity. Obviously, you have a new assistant coach. We haven't talked much about that. I did meet him. I forgot his name, but I know that is it Coach Lagu? Is that who it is?
No, no, no. It's Rebecca Westlake.
Okay, okay. Is she still with us here?
Yeah, yeah, she's here. We lost Coach Valish. She had an opportunity to go to do something outside of the teaching field, and Coach Westlake, Rebecca Westlake, she teaches down at the junior high, and we sent a email plead out, like anybody who can help us, who knows soccer. And she responded probably with about 30 minutes, like, I will do whatever it takes to help the kids out. And she's done an amazing job down there with the junior varsity.
Awesome. So tell us a little bit about the update. Where are we as far as playing? Have they been playing games? Give us an update on what's been going on there with our sub varsity.
Yeah, it's crazy because we have so many freshmen on that team. I mean, you could basically field a whole team with nothing but the freshmen that we have. And a lot of those girls have never touched a soccer ball, and so everything is a new learning experience from them. And Coach Westlake, who is kind of thrown in this like awkward situation where she's coming in, halfway through a season. She's taught these girls before in junior high, so she's got this relationship built with them, and it's now like, okay, now I'm going to step in and be your coach, and we're going to ride this ride together with me teaching you things that you've never learned before, you've never done before. And she's done an amazing job. I think the JV, I think they tied it up 4-4 against London, and you're talking about a team once again that has kids that play 24/7, 365. I mean, you have kids that go and play club and select, and our JV is taking their licks, they're taking their hits this year. But I mean, you're talking about freshmen that are playing, sophomores, juniors that have been playing for a while. I talked to the Cal Allen coach, and she's got enough kids to make three teams, and she's talking about her dedicated freshman team is all freshmen. So essentially, our JV is playing, they're all argument's sakes JV kids. So they're sophomores, juniors, and then they're freshmen that are able to play up a level. But no, our JV is doing an amazing job. I think right now they're probably, if we were to kind of do district stats, I think they're probably sitting in second place or something like that. But their district's just as tough as our varsity district. I mean, it's very comparable to to our varsity. And so when you're looking at them, you know, you've got London, you've got Cal Allen, which is the same. They're the same on the JV level, and our JV team is competing with them and doing extremely well, despite the fact that none of them have touched the soccer ball until November.
That that's awesome. I mean, I know one of the things that we want to do is just play games, right? We want them
Yeah,
on the field. Um, but that's great. I mean, I think I mean they're the future, right? I mean, we're gonna lose some players this year. The three captains are gonna be gone. You know, we've seen them for the last couple of years. We've been talking about them for the last couple of years. We've been seeing them. There's gonna be some new faces coming up. So it's very important to kind of see where they're at, what they're doing. I know there was a little transition with the assistant coach, you know, all of a sudden just having to leave and then kind of jumping back and having a new assistant come in. I knew there was a new one. I didn't know who it was, but I knew you and I had talked about that. And you have to just jump right in and try. I mean, because you're jumping in right as the season goes. So you ain't got time. You just got to mix in what are you doing and try to get it going from there too. So for all of that to have taken place and for us to be sitting somewhere in you know the top in the district, I think says a lot for the team. And kudos to the coach for coming in, you know, and hey, I'll do it and coming right in. And I think the best thing is that the kids know her. So if they know her, right, there's already a relationship. There's hopefully a trust relationship there, which is cool. So awesome. That's great. Just a couple of games left. The Lady Pirates fighting for that playoff spot, you know. And so they played London on last, I think it was last Friday, and then Tuesday we had a bye, which is I think what a bye that we needed because
yeah,
of all the injuries. So that was good. It came, I think, at the right time. Although some girls still probably won't be back. And then tomorrow it's one more road game. Like I said, these girls have been like I think eight road games. The last eight games have been on the road. They have not played at home in quite some time. And so they'll go to Kingsville to play SGA, and then they'll come back for the final two games of the regular season here against Kingsville. And then we'll finish up the season against Cal Allen. Hopefully, we'll have everyone healthy and ready to go outside of Katie, who I know can't come back. But, Coach, let's talk about SGA. We took them. We got the first win, the first go around. We need this win tomorrow. Talk to us a little bit about the game. I mean, I know we're not going in at 100%, but you know, just your thoughts on the game. It's an important one. We've got to get this game.
yeah. We've actually played SGA twice this year so far. You know, we played them in the tournament. We beat them 2-0. But you're talking about shortened halves, and if I'm not mistaken, I think that was the coldest day of the tournament. And then we played them again in that first round. We beat them 4-0. Yeah, injuries is definitely going to hurt a little bit for us. You know, I'm really hoping that two of the three players that are mostly injured are good to go. I know, you know, Candace practiced today. I'm hoping that she's good to go come tomorrow. She looked good today as far as running around and shooting and stuff. We've got Ari. Even if Ari's hurt, she probably isn't going to let it on, and she'll go until she can't go no more. So you know, hopefully we have those two back. You know, we talked previously about Anna E. Anna E is hopefully going to be back for senior night. Everything's looking good for her to make it back. But yeah, tomorrow against SGA, I mean they're a lot better team than they were last year. They have improved tremendously. I think the second time we played them last year, if I remember correctly, we were beating them 6-0, and they decided they didn't want to play in the second half. They had enough, and they tapped out in the second half. And then you're talking about this year, they've been able to compete. You know, they definitely have an advantage. We've played so many away games in the second half of district. They've got a little bit of an advantage because we're going to be playing on their grass field that they're used to. You know, for those who don't know anything about soccer, don't play soccer, it is a huge difference going from turf to grass. You know, it's the equivalent of playing in grass and playing in a gym floor. I mean, it's you play on turf, everything's smooth, the passes are smooth, and then you play on grass and you hit uneven patches, and it's a whole different world. So they've got a little bit of a home field advantage on us just because we're not used to playing in that grass. But last time we played them, I didn't see anything attacking wise that scares me. and that was a couple games after we had lost Katie, so we were still trying to get our feet underneath us, and I didn't see anything attacking wise that really scared me, but we've got to find the net because if it's a 0-0 game at the end, I mean we're going to end up hurting ourselves when we start talking about playoff runs. But I'm going in very confident, and I'm really hoping that those injury bugs kind of shoo away because we've got to win SGA, we got to win Kingsville, and then we pretty much punch our ticket to playoffs. But we've got to take care of those first two games.
Coach, with Candace to play tomorrow, is that a decision that you make, she makes, or is that something that has to go through the trainer?
No, so it's entirely up to her and what she can tolerate. So, and she's tough. Her and Ari both. I mean, they're two extremely tough girls. If Ari can go at all, Ari's going to try to go. And Candace is that same way. Candace practiced the whole day at practice today. I didn't really see her limping. She was moving good. So, I'm not going to force a kid that's hurt to go play. And so, if Candace is ready, then we'll use her. If not, then we'll figure out the pieces as they lie. But as of right now, I think that the way from my conversation with her and how kind of I saw at practice, I think she's going to be good to go.
I hope so. We definitely need Ari. I mean, Anai's already out. She can't play, obviously, this game. So hopefully the Ari and Candace can go. But like you were saying earlier, Coach, you don't want them to go and get injured. There's that, we still got a couple of games. You want them to be ready to go. You don't want them to be out there forcing it because then you want an injury to occur when then they can't come back, right? So hopefully, I know they're both tough, and I know if they can play, they'll both play. But let's just see how things go. We got to get the win, and then we'll come back for the final two games. Kingsville and Cal Allen will end it here at Pirate Stadium. Coach, the senior night, is that the last game against Cal Allen?
No, so it's going to be against Kingsville. So it's next Tuesday. We have Katie and Maris and Mercedes that all do powerlifting, and so if they were to make it to the state powerlifting meet, it was going to be on that same day that the senior night was going to be. And so with two of the three being seniors, I didn't want them to miss out on their senior night, so we bumped it to Kingsville, and so that way we could have everybody there. Unfortunately, it is during spring break, but that's just how the cookies crumble. But no, we'll have senior night against Kingsville. It should take place between the boys game and the girls game. Boys game should end roughly around 7:30, so we're hoping to do our senior night stuff between 7:30, 7:45, and then get rolling and hopefully end up with a dub at come 8 o'clock.
And that'll be on Tuesday, correct? This Tuesday coming up. So we
Yes,
invite
sir.
all Pirate fans. I mean, last year it was I saw, man, it was nice last year. We really went out for the seniors. I know you're going to do the same thing again this year. A lot of support, Coach. The parents to these girls that you have, man, they're real passionate. They're real supportive. I mean, it was great last year. Those girls really deserved it. I mean, there's something they'll never forget. I mean, it was like, wow, it was really, really nice. I know you're gonna have something like that again this year, and that's rightfully so because these seniors deserve it. A lot of them have been in this program since they were freshmen, whether they were on JV or they were varsity. They've been through this program. They put their time in. So Tuesday is their night. What can make it more special? I mean, I know Coach is going to do, and their parents are going to do what they did last year. But for us, to be out there, I know the girls would really enjoy the crowd, the people out there. There was a lot of people last year. So hopefully everyone can come out. The nights, the evenings have been really, really nice. They've not been very cold, a little windy, but nothing that we can't put a sweater or something to be comfortable. So hopefully on Tuesday, senior night here. It's not our last home game, but it is senior night. Coach talked about having to move it up because some of the girls made state here. Congratulations to them. They're going to be going to powerlifting. So it's been moved to Tuesday. But please come on out and watch the game, support both programs. But at the same time, the girls having senior nights, it'd be really nice to have a lot of people at the stadium. I know the girls and the coaches will really appreciate it. So that's Tuesday, senior night for the Lady Pirates. Definitely come on out. It'll be sometime between the boys start at 6, Coach. The girls start at 8. So sometime between when the boys game ends and the girls game starts is when we'll have it. So please come on out. We invite all to come on out and share in the moment. RF Lady Pirate Soccer Senior Night. Coach, let's talk a little bit about the district standings. We do that every time we're on, but I think it's important because every game something might change. So last time we talked, we had the fourth seed. I thought this game with London really wasn't going to change much for us. But talk to us a little bit about where we stand now and what we need to do if we control our own destiny to get into the playoffs.
Yeah. So right now, we've got a little bit of a lead. You never want to get arrogant or cocky because you can say, oh, we've got the lead. There's a very good chance that we're making playoffs, and then something catastrophic happens. Like you don't want to ever just be super 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 arrogant. Um, right now, as it sits, if we can beat Kingsville and we can beat SGA, then we have enough points to lock it in. Regardless of what happens with Cal Allen. But you lose against SGA or you lose against Kingsville, then Cal Allen becomes a must win to get back to where we need to be. So the main thing is we take care of business tomorrow against SGA. We take care of business against Kingsville for senior night. And then we can kind of, I don't want to say Cal Allen doesn't mean anything, but we can kind of play, with a little bit of pressure off our backs. Last year we played London for senior night, very last game of the year, and it was one of those things where as we're playing, we're getting updates. We were waiting for the Beeville TM game to find out if we had made it in or not. So, we played London. We took a bad loss against London last year, and then we all just kind of sat there patiently waiting to figure out what the Beeville TM score was going to be. So, main thing is to take care of those next two games, and then we our destinies are our own hands, and anything that happens after is just icing on the cake.
Yeah, coach, that's good. It starts tomorrow on the road. It's a big game. I mean, we beat them the first time, but that was the first time, as coach said, we played them twice. They've seen us twice already. So they know what we like to do. So I don't know if that's an advantage for a team. We know what they got. They've seen Rockport twice. We've seen them twice. That we're going to be playing at their place. A little bit of an advantage because it's grass. Ours is turf. So, and we are going in there not with the at full strength, but I think we've got other kids. I'm not sure what you're going to do in terms of. I'm not going to ask you if you're going to bring some players up, but we know there's people you can bring up. We've seen other girls that can come up and be effective. So even though like Ani, obviously you can't replace these girls with the experience that they have, but we do have some girls that can step up, and they have. So we'll need them tomorrow. We'll need the whole team. It's got to be a team win. So it starts tomorrow. Hopefully we come home back to Rockport with the win, and then prepare and get ready next week for senior night. But right now, everything we control our own destiny, which is what you want, coach. You want it in your destiny. You don't want to have to worry about somebody. Right now, we take care of business, and then it's us, and we're looking to be there, coach, for the Cal Allen game to stream it again. So we'll be back up there. Definitely want to get some video on the girls before the season ends, and then because they get into the playoffs and hopefully we'll see where the chips fall. But good luck, coach, tomorrow, obviously, and then we'll talk back next week. Like I said, we might even be there. Oh no, we're going to be Tuesday. It'll be Friday when you play Cal Allen, correct?
Yes, sir.
We'll have to be there Friday. So next week is spring break, so the girls will have two games, no school, but we'll have to go out there and watch some soccer. So again, we invite everyone out, all the Pirate fans, to Tuesday senior night for the Lady Pirates. Definitely come on out, and then also on Friday. Definitely come on out. It's going to be a good one. We'd like to see everybody there when we take on Cal Allen. So the last two games will be here in Rockport. Sure, the girls would love that. Home, sweet home, coach, finally. Thank you very much, coach. Appreciate your time, man. And I'll give you the final word, man. Anything you want to add?
Yeah, I appreciate like I said every week, I appreciate your support in getting us out here and getting the girls recognized, and I appreciate what the community has done for these girls. We talked about one of the practices this week. We talked about how last year, looking up in the stands, it was like staring off into the desert. You had a few parents here and there, and this year you look up and there's a lot of times where we're at away games. I think the London game we had more fans in the stands than they did, and so I can't appreciate the parents and the supporters enough. I mean, it is an amazing feeling for not only the coaches but the girls to see that community that's rallied behind them. And it's a great feeling to know that win or loss, you have a community that's got your back, and that's going to be there for you.
I think, Coach, one thing I've learned by doing the podcast, well, I've learned a lot of things, but I used to get really involved. And how can I don't want to lose, and I learned in talking to the girls and the boys. They're young and they're competing, and they put a lot of work. I mean, I hear stories from coaches where they see these kids things that we don't see, and the support, it's important. They need the support. When you go out and play any sport and you see a lot of people there, man, it really makes you feel good as a player, right? It doesn't matter if it's wrestling or powerlifting, or I mean, if you can get on the stream, or you bring them on where they get to talk about um, what they're doing and how they're working in any sport, and then they go out to the games, or they see, we talk about them on the pod and they see 2, 3, 4, 5, 600 people viewing it, or they go to a game and they see, the field, 50, 60, 100 people or more. It makes them feel good. It makes you feel good, makes you feel like the community, is coming out, especially if it's cold and they're out there, right? It's like, hey, they really appreciate it. It really goes a long ways to the kids, which is something that I learned. Obviously, they want to win and I want to win. I'm very competitive. But it's really the support. Just when you have time to go out there and watch a game and support them, it means a lot. I know the coaches like it, but I know it means a lot to these 15, 16, 17-year-old boys and girls who put a lot of work in. And there are kids here in Rockport, right? So you come out and support them. So again, when you have an opportunity, come see some of the players soccer there, or that's why we have the podcast, because we talk a lot about. I mean, Candace has almost 20 goals this year, and it's exciting to see what she'll finish out with this year, and then she'll come back next year. The girls like Ari and Anai, who have been in this program for a long time, and this is it. They got a couple more games before they'll never step foot to play soccer on that Rockport field again. All the memories that they make, and then the young girls that got, you got Carly, and you've got Lauren, and you've got the Sophia Rudd. I mean, these girls who are going to continue to play a couple more years, where they have talent, and you want to come out and see that talent for yourself. You don't want to hear about it or read about it in the paper, right? Or hear me talk about it. Come out and see them play. You won't be disappointed. And this year I followed football, basketball, following baseball and softball, and we got, Coach, some talented kids in all sports to come out. I mean, if I look at baseball, I mean, softball, these girls have been hitting home runs like there's no tomorrow. Every time I'm looking at something, man, one of those girls hitting a home run. So come on out and support our girls and boys, at our athletes here at Rockport, man. They're a joy to watch, and they put in a lot of work. Coach, thank you very much for coming out again. And we'll be out there on Friday against Cal Allen. And if you need anything else, reach out to me. If you need anything for senior night, and we'll put it out here on the network.
Yes, sir. Appreciate it.
All right, Coach. Thank you very much. Have a good night.
All right, you too.
Sure. Thank you very much. Once again, that was Coach Rasbeary, who heads our soccer program, Our Lady Pirates. So definitely come on out. Tomorrow's game is in Kingsville. It'll be about an hour. But then the girls will come back for 2 games here against Kingsville and against this SGA tomorrow, but then Kingsville next week, and then Cal Allen. So if the weather's nice, please definitely come on out. Tuesday, it's senior night. We definitely invite all of the Pirate fans to come on out. Cheer the boys and girls. I think there'll be 2 games. The boys play first, and then the girls. But it is girls' senior night, so I'm sure they would love to see the stadium packed with Pirate fans. Thank you very much again for tuning in. I want to thank Coach Rasbeary for coming out. He comes out every Thursday, spends a little bit of time here with me. I want to wish him and the Lady Pirates good luck. Hopefully, when they come back, he'll be texting me that we got the win, and then we'll prepare for Kingsville. Safe travels on the way up to Kingsville and back. Until then, next week. Have a good night.